Welcome everybody, this is another update video. Haven't done one of these in a long time, so I figure I will do one. So what has been going on with the game is that I'm working with a map generator, or like an architectural layout, and I was gonna redesign the main level so that when you hit play, I fixed it so all of this is with controller support now. You hit start, I want to try to do something with the level sequence or something with like some cinematic and when you turn around. I was going to redesign this entire area to make it so you're going through a facility, kind of like a tutorial area, and then whenever you're ready, you can go to the helicopter to go into chapter 1 or to survival mode. So far, I'm redesigning the enemies and just creating different types of enemies for chapter 1. Need the map to load. So right now, I have the models out for enemies, and I just assign them what they're going to be. So far, the exploder, the regular zombie, the scout are done. I gotta work on the screamer. So if we get the scout, which is right here, what he would do is the only thing he would do is pretty much walk around the map within a short time span and then create this giant sphere. As long as you're not moving, nothing will happen to you. And then he just continues on walking. If you are moving when you're inside of the circle, he is going to spawn enemies. Of course, I got to, fix the animation there or assign an animation because right now I'm just doing a test one. He's going to run away and try to go somewhere else, and he's going to continue spawning the enemies. There he goes. And then these are just the regular zombies. They will just go to you and attack you. Sometimes the AI will break because I'm outside of the damage bounds area. But he's going to continue running over that way, and he's just going to continue spawning zombies over and over again. Kind of like a horde out of Left 4 Dead that is just continuously spawning about 12 enemies. If it is 8 to 12 enemies is going to be spawning every time he does this. So this gives the player the additional challenge of having to deal with all of these zombies and then having to deal with him. So that is the scout, or the pulsar, which he's not called Screamo anymore. I try to give him names. I did the pulsar is what his name would be instead of Screamo, so I just delete him. For the effect, I just made it so it's literally just a sphere you can place on the ground. So if I just place this sphere on the ground, I can literally just go in here, and it will expand, moving or not moving. And then after a few seconds, it just gets destroyed. This is set up so if there is an object in the way, if I'm on the side of said object, it would still go through said object and still make it so it spawns the enemies. It's just a simple on tick where I'm just setting the scale of said actor, and then if the player is colliding with it or overlapping with it, just saying hey. If we're moving, access said behavior tree and just say hey, spawn the enemies. The behavior tree is somewhat simple. So we have it so if you start doing damage to it, it will immediately spawn the enemies, which I called it Scream. It should be, pulse, but it's fine. It will pretty much spawn in the player, spawn in the zombies, I would say, and then clear that value for that spawn, so it's resetting that counter back to 0, and then making sure it's finished. And then it's literally just going to be running this over and over again, which is going to run away from you, it's going to wait, it's going to scream, spawn the enemies, and reset, and pretty much does these over and over again. Then, if it sees you, or you're just moving inside of there, it is going to scream first. Once it does the scream finish, it is going to move over to this one, where it's going to roam around the map, spawn in the enemies, kill these values, kill all 3 of these, and then move back to this one, basically in somewhat of an infinite loop, just to keep spawning enemies over and over again. This one is for healing. It's just going to set up, just move to that healing location. So if I place down the pulsar, I'll jump here. If I jump here, it will immediately go to that location. It is going to do the pulse scan, and then it's going to wait 5 seconds before doing everything else. So if it heals you and it sees you, you have that time in order to kill it. I might have to lower that. Random one, which is one-on-one map, and then pulse. If the player health is 0, it's going to run away. So that way the player can successfully revive. And this is just if I want this enemy type to be in survival mode, spawn the enemies, and then just attack the player. So that is what we have for the pulsar, which I'm probably going to have to get a new name. When it comes to the exploder, I'm going to have to rework some of the logic behind this, because instead of chasing the player, I can actually just remove all of this. Actually, don't. BTE explode. So I can literally fix this right now, and then boom. So this is what this would do is if it sees you, it's gonna run at you and then explode. And it does about how much damage did I say this would do? Do damage. It is going to do about 83 points of damage, so you can take at least 3 hits from the exploder before you die. And that's all this does. It's gonna once you, it's going to explode. This is just checking that location. Slight healing. If you shoot it, it's less than 100 health. It's just going to explode on the spot. Chase the player, chase the player. I can literally just do this and just say, hey, check his attack range, and just explode. So I can just save this and check this out now, because this has been fixed. All this does is just run straight at you and just explode. It does not care about anything else. It does not have an animation for attacking. All this does, it will just run at you. Just play in the middle. I gotta find a different particle effect for it to spawn in, because I want to do something else. Probably a splash screen or some effect for the player, and then it is just going to do damage to you. I can now legitimately remove this melee, but I might keep it for later. I did figure that out. And then, you have the basic zombie, where it just runs at you, and then just hits it. Of course, you can back up, and you won't take no damage. Suffice to heal, take a few hits. You have to go down a little, but if you come backwards and go forward, you don't take no damage. And then I fixed it so if you run around the zombie, it's just going to turn instead of doing like an infinite attack loop that it was doing. So they can easily be looped around, but you still have to aim at them and stuff. So I might have to do some logic here to make sure it can just switch on you immediately to start attacking you with that. Attack them later. So that is the zombie. The other enemies that we have here would be our tank style enemy. I'm thinking I might do something similar to either like somehow a style from Resident Evil when it comes to the Nemesis, or just a tank from Left 4 Dead. Just a buff dude that doesn't take a lot of damage, that will hit you, and I probably want to try to do something that allows the player to get knocked back or knocked down or something. So I have to figure out what to do with the tank. You've seen the exploder. We have the one, or the charger here, as I like to call it. The reason I named it this way is because of its head style. I figure we can do something that charges at you and does a lot of damage and just knocks you back. Of course, we have the regular zombie, and then we have the pulsar enemy type. It just spawns enemies, spawns away, and then just keep doing it until it dies. We have another style for a regular zombie, and then we have the screamer, which is somewhat going to be similar to the witch. Once it sees you or hears you within a certain range, I gotta figure that out. It is going to scream, cause damage, and it's going to blow your vision, and then it is going to run straight at you to attack you. So for chapter 1, I figured we can do the Pulse Scout. We can do one regular zombie, we can do an exploder, and then we can do the Screamer. For chapter 2, I can add the other zombie. I can get the one of Charger set up in there, and then potentially get the tank in. So that would be the enemy types. That right here is what I've been working on. And then I'm trying to work on a spawn system, which this is from a asset pack that I've been trying to reconfigure to allow dynamic spawning on all these guys. And then I should have it. Is it not here? No, it's some other one. The zombies you see here is from the zombie mega bundle from the Unreal Engine asset pack. I decided when it comes to my enemy types, these models or meshes look the best on what I want. They look creepy and like a little bit somewhat of not like cosmic, but something that a entity would use to attack the player and attack the world, I would say, and this is exactly what I'm going for. So besides that, just trying to get the enemies done. I've been also working on if I can go to it's on the other side here. Boom. So besides the enemy types, I have been working on a note system and then a door system. So these doors are locked. I want to set it kind of like how Doom did it when you found the key card, but instead of the key card, you have a keypad. Once you type in the correct passcode, the door will open. Of course, it's very loud, so I'm going to have to go in here and then turn down Unreal Engine. And then once you go through the door, it just closes behind you. If you enter the wrong key code, so once you do this, you can't access it no more if you already unlocked it. I don't know why that arrow popped up. Once you do this, if you type in the wrong key code, it's going to pop in an arrow. When you enter the right key code, door will open up. I also tried to do something with a style of a mini game in some way, but I'm thinking this is just going to be scrapped. So it's like a click and drag for the tile, but you can't drag it. You can only like click. And then you can just go like anywhere with them. So I gotta figure that out. Of course, the reset button works. Then we have the note system here, which I've been following a tutorial on YouTube. So we have an interactive item. When you walk up to it, you press E. You can use your left click to drag, zoom in and out with your mouse wheel. Right click will just reset it back to its original format, and then it gives you a little sample text on what it says here, and then you can press E to exit out. Then you have the inspectable note. I found this model on asset pack from, let me just open this up, from the modular sci-fi interior modular asset pack. And I figured I can do something like Halo, how they did the Halo waypoints. And I can do something similar with this control pad. So you walk into it, press E, you can still rotate it around, walk it to reset it, and zoom in and zoom out. Journal entry, you can press space to read it, it gives you sample text, and then you just exit out like beforehand. And then you have the auto read note. So instead of the interactable note, where you can pick it up and look at it, this one immediately just opens up the text and just runs away. And then closes it. So I can use both of these. So if you just want to straight into reading, you don't have to, look at it. You can immediately just read the note. So I figured I can combine Doom when it comes to locked doors, just instead do a keypad, or other games where the door is locked, you gotta find something. And then from Halo, when it comes to like the several notes, I know Resident Evil does this too, so I kind of got some inspiration from them. And of course, this is just an ammo crate. You just walk up to it and press E for ammo. I figured instead of having you pick up ammo on the ground, you can just walk up and press E. So if I just hit space, if I start this real fast, pick up a gun. It works for any of the guns. You want to look over here? You will follow me. Press tab to look at your current magazine and stuff. System Mag 360. I might have to expand this to make it look a lot bigger. So at 329, if you walk up to press E, it automatically fills it up back to 360. Same thing with this one, so if I lower this down, just reload it. 224, and then I switch my gun, the ammo counter changes, so you know which one it is. But when it comes to this ammo crate, since you have 330 and then you have 24, you press E on it, it fills up both of your guns. So it's just one ammo type for everything. It's just an ammo pile from Left 4 Dead essentially. It just fills up all new ammo. This is your player like stat screen. So you have the current objective top left, which you need to reformat that to make it a lot better. Top right of the screen, you have your player health right here. This is your custom ammo, how much you have left in your stockpile. I should say max ammo right hand side of magazines. Then you have this turn system right here. So what this means is you can press the turn, it will get on forward. The turns now have a spawn effect. Don't know if I showed that before or not. Once I add more turns in, you see you have an earth image right there. That image would be whatever the turn is. It will say what type of turn it is and how many turns you can place down in total. Once you're able to switch between two turns, that image will change and update, and then the text for that name of the turn will also change as well. Besides that, I've just been working on the enemies. Anything new here? No. Nothing new here. Yeah, I've just been working on the enemies, trying to finish getting the new enemy type in. So everything for enemies is done besides the Screamer. I have to work on that. And then I will have to start building out our level. So when it comes to, I can show this then, our old level that we have, level 1, do not want to save this. Once it loads, we decided to just scrap this level entirely because I was going through the story on how I'm building it and realizing it that since this is a underground military facility, we're now walking through a forest, through some FEMA camp or through some campsite of that kind, because in the story the people already know what the military is here for, and you already know. So you're in Silver Pine Ridge, and the people here already know what the military's done here. So there is no point of trying to walk it through a forest. So we changed it, and we found another asset pack, or I found an asset pack through Unreal Engine from the Unreal Marketplace. If this would load, it is called Outpost Bunker, and the style of the map is pretty much what we're going for. If the map would load. Okay. Ooh. Oh, stop it. So the map is Outpost and Bunker. So I figure we can do something with this. We designed the map, completely, so we're not just using the sample map that they have out of the asset pack, but we designed this entire map, make it more look like Silver Pine Ridge with the mountain in the background, because I wanted you to go into a mountain into the outpost. But this style of the military style outpost is what that I'm trying to go for. So this asset pack was worth it. So I just had to redesign some of the, well, redesign the entire map, I would say. When it comes to level 2, I've been blocking out the level when I'm gotten some of the enemies done. I decided to take a break from doing enemies and to start designing level 2 out. So I figured what we could do is take these images from an AI generator that I'm using to do the level design, or like this, a reference image, plop it on a plane and just build it out. I figure we can start blocking out the levels this way, and then finalizing, okay, we should do it kind of this way, finalizing how it should look, and then going from there. So of course we have our security and surveillance zone plus the quarantine in level 2, well, or chapter 1 part 2. So of course you go to the security zone, which should be the top layer. You have to do some stuff here. I'm still finalizing a little bit of the layout. And then you take this long elevator down. It's not really long. And then you've reached the contamination zone down here. And then as long as story is just heal. So no, do have to expand this level out because I kind of wanted to do it how Doom and Halo does it. The levels are kind of somewhat big or big in general, but you're always going to point A to point B fighting enemies, and that's kind of what I want here for the start of the game. So I've just been blocking out some of the stuff to just see how it looks, and then probably going to expand this out to make it a couple layers here, kind of like the Resident Evil. One of the movies that they go inside of a base, and it's like a prison essentially. They have multiple layers going up and down. So I figured we could do something similar to that here, since it does look like that from the top view. And that is it for everything for showcasing. I'm just trying to fix up the enemies, trying to finish them this week, and then hopefully trying to fix some of the animations for them, especially the pulse scout unit, since I need animation for when it does its pulse and when it's spawning the enemies in. So hopefully, by the end of this week, I can finish up the screamer and then just overhaul all of the animations, since they're all just using the same basic animations essentially. So hopefully this week I can get that fixed and changed out. And that is hopefully after that I can start working on the level design for level 1, and then hopefully get that done and then start working on level 2. So besides that, that is the end of this update, and I'll catch you guys in the next update, hopefully, if I don't forget. See you guys later.